In an era of instant gratification and digital noise, most men have lost their center. You are swiping through endless profiles, waiting for a blue bubble to appear on a screen, measuring your worth by the speed of a text reply. You have become reactive. When she's cold, you panic. When she's distant, you chase. You've become a mirror of the chaos around you, instead of the foundation a woman can lean on. This is the crisis of the modern man, a constant, exhausting search for external validation in a world that thrives on your insecurity. You've been told to perform, to provide, or to impress, but you've forgotten how to simply be. Stoicism teaches us the dichotomy of control, that most things in this life, including the feelings and reactions of others, are outside our command. Yet, the modern man spends 90% of his emotional energy trying to control the uncontrollable. He obsessively checks last seen statuses and analyzes the subtext of a 3-word emoji response. The 1%? They operate differently. They don't perform. They exist. They don't chase. They attract because they possess a rare quality in the 21st century: internal gravity. Every woman, no matter how independent or modern, has 11 deep emotional needs. 99% of men fail to meet them because they are too busy reacting to the world to ever lead it. This isn't about alpha posturing or manipulative pickup lines. This is about becoming so emotionally grounded that connection happens not because you forced it, but because you are the only calm harbor in her storm. Think about the modern dating landscape: ghosting, breadcrumbing, the situationship trap. These aren't just dating trends. They are symptoms of a world lacking emotional depth. Today, we bridge the gap between the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the messiness of a Tinder match. We are moving from being a man who seeks to be liked to a man who is truly irreplaceable. Let's begin. Imagine a world where everything is moving too fast. TikTok trends change in hours. News cycles are designed to keep you in a state of constant anxiety, and social media is a minefield of comparison. In this hurricane of modern life, the most attractive thing a man can offer is not his money or his status. It is his stillness. The first emotional need is emotional safety. This is the foundation of all deep attachment. In the dating world, safety is often misunderstood as boring. But true emotional safety is a sanctuary. It means she can show you her chaos, her irrational fears, or her rawest honesty without being judged, mocked, or, worst of all, fixed. Most men fail here because they are logic junkies. When a woman vents about a stressful day at work or a conflict with a friend, the modern man immediately jumps into problem-solving mode. He interrupts. He analyzes. He tells her why she's wrong or how she should have handled it. In his mind, he's being helpful. In her heart, he's shutting her down. A Stoic understands that his job isn't to control her emotions, it's to provide a space for them to exist. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." To be brave enough to sit in silence while she is emotional, without flinching, without arguing, is the ultimate form of strength. When she realizes that your ego isn't threatened by her feelings, she feels safe. And safety is the soil where intimacy grows. The second need is steadiness, ataraxia. This is what separates the boys from the 1%. Women are biologically and emotionally attuned to notice whether a man is a reactive or a grounded force. If you are only confident when things are going well, you aren't actually steady. You're just lucky. The test comes when the pressure rises. Maybe it's a heated argument, a missed flight, or a personal setback. Does your voice get louder? Do you start over-explaining? Do you panic? The Stoic practices ataraxia, unshakable tranquility. You are the rock in the ocean. The waves, her moods, the world's problems, hit the rock, but the rock doesn't move. It just stays. In modern dating, this looks like staying calm when she tests you, or pulls back. Instead of sending a desperate paragraph of text, the ultimate sign of a reactive man, you remain centered in your own life. You don't match her chaos with your own. You counterbalance it with your peace. The third need is emotional leadership. In an age of, I don't know, what do you want to do? Direction is magnetic. But this isn't alpha dominance. It's the ability to hold the frame. When things get blurry or emotional, you are the one who knows where the North Star is. You don't ask for permission to be the leader. You simply embody the responsibility of it. But remember, leadership without empathy is just tyranny, and leadership without presence is just a plan. Which brings us to a secret that most men overlook: the difference between being with someone and being present for someone. But we'll get to that in a moment. We live in the age of the fragmented man. Even when you are sitting across from a woman at dinner, half of your mind is elsewhere, checking a notification, thinking about a work email, or wondering how your latest post is performing. Your body is there, but your soul is miles away. In the eyes of a woman, this is the ultimate form of emotional abandonment. The fourth emotional need is being seen without being fixed. In the previous part, we talked about the logic trap, but let's go deeper. To a woman, being seen means you are witnessing her reality without trying to edit it. Most men listen with an agenda. They are waiting for a gap in the conversation so they can insert their opinion, their advice, or their better way of doing things. A Stoic practices the art of objective observation. When she speaks, don't treat her words like a puzzle you need to solve. Treat them like a landscape you are simply observing. This is rare. In a world where everyone is trying to optimize everything, a man who can just be with a woman's emotions without rushing her to get over it is magnetic. You aren't just hearing her words, you are acknowledging the weight behind them. This creates a deep silent bond that no cool text message could ever replicate. The fifth need is a non-judgmental space. Modern dating is a minefield of shoulds. She should be more career-oriented. She should be less sensitive. She should act a certain way. Men often project their own insecurities by judging her reactions as too much or irrational. But remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. A grounded man doesn't label her emotions as right or wrong. He understands that feelings are like the weather. They pass. By providing a Stoic sanctuary where she doesn't have to filter herself or perform to be accepted, you become her safest place on earth. When she realizes she can be her most vulnerable self and your opinion of her doesn't waver, her attachment to you becomes unbreakable. The sixth need is emotional memory. This is where most men lose the game after the date is over. Attraction doesn't happen in the moment. It happens in the reflection of the moment. After she leaves your presence, what is the emotional scent you've left behind? In the digital age, men often overcommunicate or undervalue the silence. They bomb her with good morning texts or needy follow-ups. A Stoic man understands that his value isn't in his quantity of words, but in the quality of the peace he provides. Does she feel calmer, more centered, and more herself after being with you? Or does she feel drained and confused? If you want to be irreplaceable, focus on the afterglow. Leave her with the feeling that you are a man who is complete within himself, a man whose presence is a gift, not a demand. Because as we move into the next phase, you'll realize that the most powerful thing you can do to attract a woman is to show her that you don't actually need her to survive. There is a profound silence in a man who knows exactly where he is going. In a world of wandering souls, a man with a map is a king. Most men today are drifters. They wake up, react to their boss, react to their social media feed, and then react to the women in their lives. They have no North Star. The seventh emotional need is direction. A woman doesn't want to lead you. She wants to join you. This is a subtle but vital distinction. In the modern dating landscape, men often make the mistake of making the woman their mission. They ask her what she wants to eat, where she wants to go, and what she thinks of his career choices. While this may seem polite, it signals a lack of internal leadership. A Stoic man understands his telos, his ultimate purpose. He follows the principle of prohairesis, the faculty of reasoned choice. His life is built on a foundation of values and goals that exist independently of his relationship status. Whether she is in his life or not, he is building his empire, refining his character, and pursuing his craft. This momentum is hypnotic. When a man moves with intention, he creates a vacuum of energy that naturally pulls people toward him. He doesn't need to beg for attention because his life is already interesting. The eighth need is choice. True desire cannot exist where there is pressure. Modern dating is filled with obligatory affection. Men who demand a text back. Men who guilt-trip a woman for being busy. Men who try to lock her down before the connection has even breathed. The Stoic approach is the power of the invitation. You offer her a seat at your table, but you do not force her to sit. You stay grounded in the dichotomy of control. You can control your invitation, but you cannot control her response. By giving her the space to choose you every single day, without the weight of your expectations, you become the only man she wants to choose. Pressure kills attraction. Space creates desire. The ninth need is independence. This is the highest level of the Stoic man. It is the realization that you are already complete. Epictetus famously said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If you need a woman to feel happy, to feel valid, or to feel whole, you have already lost. Neediness is a scent that women can detect from miles away. It smells like fear. The 1% are men who want a connection, but do not require it for their survival. You are the sun, and she is a planet that orbits your warmth. If the planet leaves, the sun still shines. This independence isn't about being cold or distant. It's about being so emotionally self-sufficient that your love is a gift of overflow, not a desperate grab for fulfillment. When a woman realizes that you are a man who can walk away from anything that doesn't align with your values, even her, she respects you. And without respect, there can be no lasting attraction. But there is one final piece to this puzzle. It is the spark that keeps the fire burning long after the initial meeting. It is the polarity paradox, and it is where most nice guys eventually fail. Safety without a spark is just a friendship. To remain irreplaceable, you must master the polarity paradox. The 10th emotional need is emotional polarity. Attraction is like electricity. It requires a positive and a negative pole to flow. In the modern world, many men try to mirror a woman's energy to show they are empathetic. If she is sad, they get sad. If she is chaotic, they get anxious. But mirroring kills desire. A Stoic man provides the counterbalance. When she is the swirling wind, you are the mountain. When she is the tidal wave of emotion, you are the deep, quiet seabed. You don't judge the wave, but you don't let it move you either. This contrast, this masculine stillness against feminine expression, is what keeps the spark alive for decades, not just weeks. The 11th need is predictability without boredom. This is the ultimate Stoic balance. She needs to know your character is predictable, that your values, your word, and your emotional baseline will never waver under pressure. That is safety. But she also needs to see that your path is evolving. Boredom happens when a man stops growing. If you are the same man today as you were 5 years ago, you have become a stagnant pond. A Stoic is a perpetual student of life. You are constantly refining your mind, your body, and your mission. You are a stable harbor, yes, but the ships you build are always sailing toward new horizons. Conclusion. Being the 1% isn't about perfection. It's about internal sovereignty. It's about realizing that by satisfying these 11 needs through the lens of Stoicism, you aren't just winning at dating, you are winning at life. You are becoming a man who is grounded, directed, and free. If this perspective shifted something in you today, acknowledge it. Real change begins with the decision to stop reacting and start leading. Subscribe to join the 1% who choose depth over noise. Build your inner citadel. The world and the right woman will notice. Stay grounded, stay sovereign.